What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. And I just saw something that I had to share with you guys that is simply amazing. When we say that Kamala Harris was thoroughly repudiated by the American voters on Election Day, we mean she was thoroughly repudiated. Now, technically, her performance, popular vote wise, electoral vote wise, wasn't up there with the grand landslides defeats in a history, like Goldwater in 64, McGovern in 72, Mondale in 84, James M. Cox in 1920. It's not up there as far as, lowest voter percentile, see what's in my electoral college votes. No, because the electorate is far more polarized, and meaning that voters aren't as flexible as it used to be. It used to be people who would vote Republican one election and then Democratic the next election. People tend to stay with one party, so it's static. But when you look at her county performances versus Biden, now mind you, the Democratic Party dropped Biden because they felt that he was unelectable and that Kamala would be more electable. Well, the numbers show that she not only lost, but she failed to flip any county in the country in this election from Trump to Kamala. That hadn't been achieved since 1932. 1932, when this country was going through a depression, the worst depression in its history. Herbert Hoover, the incumbent president, despised by the vast majority of Americans at that point in time. The peak of the Great Depression flipped no counties in this country. Roosevelt, FDR, won 57.4% of the popular vote, won 42 states out of 48 at that time, and won the Electoral College 472 to 59. If the electorate was as inflexible back today as it was back then, she probably would have lost in a similar fashion. However, she didn't flip any counties. Think about that. There are over 3,000 counties in the United States. 3,200, I believe. She didn't flip one of them. Think about what I'm saying here. Barry Goldwater flipped counties that went to Kennedy in 60. Walter Mondale flipped counties that went for Reagan in 80, and he flipped them, even though he lost in a 49-state landslide. Mike Dukakis flipped counties that went to Reagan in 84. George McGovern, who only won 37.5% of the popular vote in one fucking state, he flipped counties that went to Nixon 4 years earlier. A handful, but he did it. She didn't flip one goddamn county. As a matter of fact, in 90% of the counties, she performed worse than Biden. Meaning that there were 10% of counties that she did a little bit better than him, but still not enough to either flip it or just stayed stagnant as far as carrying it the way it was carried 4 years ago for the Democrats. Another thing, she did worse than Biden in every single state of the union, including the District of Columbia. She did worse in every single state than Joe Biden did 4 years ago. As a matter of fact, not only did she do worse in every single state, and not only did she fail to flip a single county in the United States, there was only one electoral jurisdiction, Nebraska's first district. Only one fucking district she did better. Did she manage to do better than Biden and have a trend toward the Democrats? The first district in Nebraska. That's it. In the entire country. I'm still trying to figure out, because I'm not seeing it posted anywhere, like they're trying to hide this information. I'm trying to figure out how many counties she carried. Because Joe Biden carried, I think it was 500 or so counties, which was the fewest amount of counties ever won by a winning candidate. Now, I've told you before, one of the reasons why that is because of the way the population centers are distributed. The huge honking population centers where all of the poor and semi-poor people live, we all live bunched together. We all live bunched together. That's why you see these little small blue blotches on the map. That's where all of the generally, I would say, less affluent people live in certain areas. Can't really just say all poor people, because you got poor people in the South that vote Republican. But, generally speaking, where you see a lot of these blue blotches, there are population centers where like millions of people live. So on the map, it looks like Trump should have got 80% of the vote, but in a lot of those areas you see red, the people that live there, the amount of people is not often a lot. But still, Obama got I think he won like 680 counties in 2008, which at the time was the fewest amount for a winner. Then he won even fewer in 2012, like 600. Biden wins 506, I think the numbers was, in 2020. I've read that she lost at least 70 to 90 counties that Biden had won. So I'm thinking she probably won only 400 counties. If that's it, I'm trying to find a precise number, but if that's it, and it might be lower than that, if that's the number, right, that would mean that she won the fewest amount of counties for a candidate in a presidential election since at least Walter Mondale. And she got the nerve to talk about she's not giving up the fight. You ain't got to fight to fight. You'll get your ass kicked. There's no fight. They already moved on from you. They're talking about running AOC, who I don't see how she even has a snowball hell's and chance of winning. Their best bet is probably going with Gavin Newsom, who's probably still going to lose, depending upon the environment in 2028. But I mean, I think he's going to lose, me personally. But I had to share that with you guys, man. This is a historic loss that she took. And the only reason why it took this long, because I told you guys they were still counting votes. So there were still several counties that were really, really, really close. But now I think 99.99% of the vote is in. They pretty much finished the vote counting. And they see now she lost. I mean, not lost, excuse me. She did worse than Biden in every single county in the United States. Unbelievable. Tell me what you guys think.